Right, now we have a question which I think I understand, though I'm completely mystified as to why anyone should ask it. The question is, how can I weigh my head? Now, there are at least two competing theories as to how this can be achieved, and to demonstrate this, we have, first of all, Nigel Mason. Now, Nigel is stripping down.
So much, Nigel.
Because you have to weigh him, his body and his head, so we've got something to work on.
Yes, and Nigel weighs in at a big 70 kilograms.
OK, and for the other competing theory, step forward Rob Johnsey. Rob Johnsey also has to be weighed in. And obviously toweling dressing gowns. Oh.
There we are.
Your head on swimming costumes, I think, there.
And, oh, much, much less. That's about 65 kilograms.
Oh, that's practically nothing at all. But anyway, those are just the starting weights. But can we start with you, Nigel? Now, this involves getting into a bath, is that right?
That's right.
Well, we've got a bath set up here for you. And what are you going to get into the bath?
I'm going to get into the bath up to my neck and displace a certain amount of water from my body, and then get below the water with my head and displace another amount of water.
All right, so this is, if you like to start doing that, it's not quite Archimedes' principle, because he stepped into a bath and splashed water around and invented the bath mat, but you're just displacing volume. That's what you're basically doing, and you're sitting down gingerly, creating a sort of tidal wave, a sort of Hurricane Nigel splooshing around there. Now, this is going to take a certain amount of time for you to actually immerse yourself fully and for the water to go through. So while you're doing that, perhaps I can switch over to Rob. Now, Rob, you're not going to be getting into any water. Quite a flood of water you're creating there, Nigel. So what's your system? How does it work? We've got some...
We have two weighing scales here,
right,
and the readouts are here. And on the two weighing scales, we have to put a plank.
Right.
And the plank has to be positioned symmetrically on the scales so that the two readings are the same.
All right.
That's the first problem.
OK, so we're getting that lined up so we can see, we can read the weight off there. Yeah, that looks about right. So
okay.
now what's the next stage?
Next stage is to come up onto the platform. I'm going to position my body on the plank so that the centre of gravity of the whole of my body is over the centre of the plank. And we'll know that happens because the two scales will show the same again.
Right, well, I'm following this.
This will require a little bit of shuffling around.
Yeah. So you're going to be shuffling around, and you can see on a monitor what these scales are showing. So while you do that, I'll nip back to see how we're getting on in the... Now, have you got right under the water all but your head?
Yes, I have, yeah.
You have, you've done that, and you sort of popped up again. Yeah. So how much water... The water's been expelled, and what's the weight of the water, Carol?
The weight of the water...
And you're still adding a bit more water there, Nigel. I don't know quite what you're doing in the bath there, but... it's exciting being on television, likely, but... Stop it, please.
It's 71 kilograms, and a kilogram of water is a litre of water, so that's 71 litres in volume.
Right.
Which
so that's
is the volume of the torso.
Right, so the volume of the torso is 71 litres. Right, we're going to work out the theory in due course. And now we're going to put your head under. So this is going to be a slight disadvantage to you. But if we don't speak to you again, thank you very much for... you immerse your head on there, and we'll see how much extra volume of water that displaces. Oh, where you go. I'll tell you when you've got... Put your hand under as well, and your knees. There's other things popping up all over the place. Do you want to come up now? Do you want to come up? Yes, you can come up now, please. Thank you very much. So that's being expelled there. So while we're doing that, we're back on the plank thing. Now, you've got yourself in the middle. Is that right?
Practically,
yes. Yes, I think it's 43,
yes.
44.
What I'm going to do now is I'm going to move my head, or at least the centre of gravity of my head, marked by this cross here.
Oh, hang on. Don't you want me to mark where your feet are at the centre point?
That's true. Yeah, let's do
So I've got some special red marky things.
Okay.
I mark that there, and I put a bit of sticky tape there to mark where your feet were. It's this edge here. Right, now you're going to move.
I'll move my head up to here, and what I'm trying to do is bring my centre of gravity over my neck.
Yes.
And while doing that, I'll then have to shuffle a little bit more to have these two readings the same.
All right, so get your head nice and
extremely painful, but I'll do my best.
OK, so you're going to start shuffling up there. I don't think I want to stir around for that. Looks quite disgusting. Now then, how have we done? Has all your head water trickled out now? And are you happy with the amount of water the head produced, Carol?
Yes.
This is a serious scientific experiment.
This is 75 litres now. So that's the volume of the whole body.
All right.
So
it was 71 before, that's an extra 4 litres.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, gee, I know you're the mathematical wizard, but I thought I'd just show off the ones I can do. So you're inserting those figures into the thing, so yes, that's extra 4. So how are we doing over here with the old plank?
Well, I've got myself into position. My head's flopped back because it's very painful.
Yes.
So would you mark the position of my feet
not
again?
a great deal, I have to say, but...
That's to be expected.
So I put the little bit of sticky tape there. And you want me to measure the difference, do you? The amount that you moved?
Please, yes. The amount of the shuffling amount.
The shuffling amount. The shuffle figure, measuring from the two edges, is 25 millimetres, 2.5 centimetres. So
Fine.
practically an inch, the way I would understand things. Right, so have we got everything we want now in terms of figures and to make these calculations?
Yes, I think we have virtually. Now, Nigel's principle
yes,
was not quite Archimedes, but he based his on the fact that the density of the body was exactly the same. So he said his head weight over the volume was the same as his whole weight over the volume, and then if you shuffle all that around, you get... now, what did we say? We said Nigel's weight was 70 kilograms, and then that's 4 over 75 is 3.73 kilograms.
That's the answer. But that's based on the assumption that the density of your head is exactly the same as every other part of your body.
This is a weak part of the argument.
Yes, but anyway, you think that gives an approximation of the weight of your head, 3.73 kilograms.
Yep.
Now, I didn't fully follow the balancing thing. Can you explain what was going on there?
What Rob was doing was he was bringing the centre of gravity sort of further down his body by lifting the head,
yes.
But he still needed to get that new centre of gravity over there. So you have to take things called moments, which are like turning forces and so on.
Right.
And eventually you get the weight of the head is the shuffle distance
yes.
over the neck to head distance. You probably have been wondering why he's got this red cross here, but that's his guess.
Yes.
I had nothing to do with that, with the centre of gravity of his head.
Where the buried treasure is
then
as
you
well,
work that that's 2.5 multiplied by 65 divided by 11, and that is wrong, I would imagine, because that's actually 14.7 kilograms.
Yes. Well,
That's reasonable.
That's
you put a bigger head, obviously. That's,
yes.
And this system could be used either as weighing any part of the body, I suppose. But I've thought of an easier way to do this, to weigh your head. The easy way is to just have your head cut off. And in the course of the day, actually, I've been on the phone to a pathologist who's done this for me. He's chopped off the head of a dead person. Obviously, they were dead. Well, once the head had been chopped off, certainly. And I've got it here now, so I'm going to come up with the answer. And there it is. I've got the weight here. Oh, I haven't got the head. I've only got the weight. And apparently, by the pathologist tells me that the average adult head weighs between 3.5 to 4 kilograms. So, bizarrely and unbelievably, Nigel, your system appears to work very well. And I'm afraid you're back to the drawing board.
I've got very, very dense brains inside
well,
there.
thank you very much.
Why do we say that someone's walked over our grave when we have an involuntary shiver?
Well, that's a good question.
What happens to the water when the tide goes out?
Well, that's almost impossible to not answer, really, but it goes somewhere else.